Paul Revere was born on December 21st, 1734 in Boston's North End. He was the third of 12 kids and the oldest son. He attended an all-boys school until he was 12. He left school so he could apprentice for his father as a silversmith and bronze engraver. Paul and his family attended church every Sunday. When he was 15, he and a few of his friends found a way to help the church and make money too. They called themselves the Bell Ringer Society. They would ring the church's 8 bells whenever the wardens of the church desired for 3 shillings a week each. When Paul was 19, his father died. Paul joined the Massachusetts militia to serve in the French and Indian War. In 1757, he returned home. He took over his father's shop and moved back into his childhood home near Clark's Wharf. Paul was a member of the Sons of Liberty, a group of patriots that defended the rights of the colonists. When they got wind of the Stamp and Sugar Acts, they marched to the Boston State House and protested. They cheered liberty, property, and no stamps, and no taxation without representation. When a ship filled with over 300 crates of British tea arrived in Griffin's Wharf, Paul was one of the many men who helped dump the tea into the harbor. After the tea was dumped, he was trusted to spread the word. He hopped on his horse and rode to Newark, then on to Philadelphia to inform the Patriot rebels of the events. March 5th, 1770, the Boston Massacre occurred. Paul created a bronze engraving of the incident that is now an historical piece of art. He did not like the British and wanted people to think the British fired at citizens for no reason. He made the engraving look like a line of British soldiers fired into a crowd of calm Americans when the British were actually provoked by the Americans. On the night of April 18, 1775, Paul rode from Boston to Lexington and then on to Concord. His job was to warn the Patriots that 900 British soldiers were sailing across Boston's Back Bay and marching toward Concord. He successfully reached Lexington. However, on his way to Concord, redcoats captured him. Luckily, Samuel Adams soon liberated Paul. Sam continued on to warn the Patriots at Concord, and Paul was left to trek back to Lexington. Based on the information that Paul Revere was a protester of the British taxation and was a son of liberty, I can conclude that he thought the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution were fair and just because the United States Constitution gives Americans rights and responsibilities to govern within a self-controlled democracy. The Declaration of Independence states that Americans are free from taxation without consent in housing of British soldiers. Paul would think this was great because those things had personally affected him. After seeing the corruption of the English monarchy, Paul Revere would definitely think that the new structure of the American government is a more fair and efficient system of self-control. Also, since the monarchy so clearly failed, Revere would approve of the change to our democratic form of government. He would also like that the government was separated into 3 sections so that no one person would have all the power.